So it feels like a couple of weeks since I did a video wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. I was standing on the roof of our house in Coupe. Where has that time gone? I have no idea. And if you had said to me then that I'd be standing where I am now doing what I'm doing, well, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But like all things in Paraguay, where you think you're going and where you end up is often two different things. And where you end up is where you're meant to be anyway. And if you try and buck that, well, Paraguay's going to win anyway, so you might as well go with it. But we've had a massive couple of weeks just getting our house project over the line. If I look a bit weather beaten, well, it's because I've been moving tons of dirt, doing a heap of painting, and it's been really hot here. Really been enjoying the project though, and it's just been a joy to get on to our property and just getting it over the line. Taking a bit longer than what we anticipated, but there's been a few hold-ups, particularly in regards to some other parties that were waiting on some things, but no big hassle. It's just the way things roll. We've currently got some experts here from Colonia Independencia. They're putting a natural grass ceiling on our roof, and they call it yahape. I call it like a form of thatch. And when we decided to do this project, initially I thought to myself, well, maybe I might just get some of the grass and give it a go myself. I've watched Gilligan's Island, how hard can it be? But in reality, watching these guys do their thing, it's just given me appreciation. This is an art form, and the way that these guys are going about their business is just a joy, and it's really going to be very cool to have their legacy of craftsmanship being part of the project that this will be when it's completed. I might also follow up with a video or two about how it's ended up, why we went with that material, its features and benefits, and also some things that you need to think about, in particular treatment, because sometimes natural materials like grass roofs can invite uninvited guests like insects and other crawling critters. But there's natural ways that you can treat a roof like this, and we'll be going down that route, and I'll share it with you in a future video. But apart from that, we're really just keeping busy, counting down the new year and getting into celebration mode. But as far as I'm concerned, apart from celebrating Christmas, the real reason to celebrate this time of year is because here in Paraguay, we're coming up to mango season. And just behind me here is our very own mango tree. It's only a young mango tree, but it's so beautiful, and it's really putting off some beautiful fruit. As you can see, these bad boys are just perfect. And everyone's got a name. That's Derek, that's Gretel, that's Richard, that's Frank. And I'm going to be watching all these like my own children and just really taking joy in watching them grow and mature, and I'll be waiting for them at this end. And they're the more perfect variety of mango, the Mango Rosa. There's the local variety, which is also very nice, but it's a bit stringy. And then you've got this one. And this mango here, man, if you could find a way to put it on a ship and get it to some of the countries I've lived in, you'd be richer than a banker. But, you know, if anyone's got some ideas out there, go for it. But it's only a new tree, relatively. These things get really big. And when we built our wall here, the contractor said, look, you might just get a season of mangoes, then you should really chop down that tree because it could mess with the wall there. And to me, that was like sacrilege, because I'd rather knock down the wall than get rid of the tree. So we're just going to see how the tree and the wall get on. But if the tree has any issues, or if the wall plays up, well, we're just going to have to move the wall, because, you know, there's some things that should never be considered. And chopping down a mango tree is one of them, especially one as beautiful as that. And that's got years to go. So, you know, I look forward to growing old with it together. And even though at the moment our garden looks quite spindly, we haven't given it really much love at all. It's got some really unexpected things in it. We've got berries and some different things, and by the time we're finished here, it's going to be an absolute oasis. And we've already planted a few things, looking forward to doing a lot more. And on a final note, if anyone's got questions that they would like to ask of us that we haven't covered in videos, or perhaps haven't covered it sufficiently, please drop us a line. I was also thinking potentially about doing a video with someone out there who might want to get online and ask me some questions about Paraguay or anything to do with what we're doing here. Just something I'm toying with. So I throw that out there. If anyone's potentially interested in jumping online and doing a bit of a to and fro with me, well, just let me know. The only caveat to that is that it'll have to be a video, so you'd have to be prepared to have your mugshot up there, but I think it could be cool potentially, because I do enough rabbiting on myself and I try and keep it on point and talk about things that I think people are interested in and things that people mention to us. But I think it'd also be cool to talk to someone out there and maybe have a bit of a natter online. That might be, I don't know, maybe an idea, but who knows? If nobody's interested, well, that'll never happen. Never mind. I'm sure we'll come up with other ideas. So that's about all I've got for now. Merry Christmas, everyone out there, and have a great new year. And I look forward to touching base somehow in the new year. So until next time, take care. Ciao.